Money talks and bullshit fucking walks. Now, if I was one of the boys, I wouldn't tell you that way. And I would tell you that most of you in this room are going to fail. Not because the system doesn't work, but because you don't follow the motherfucking steps. Why do I know that? And I've done thousands of transactions, but I've been doing this 27 years. And just as I knew in March, when this all started, that the human Homo sapien, as we know it today, is not possible to combat corona. Because we're weak! For the same reason we can't social distance. And whether corona's for real or not, doesn't matter. Perception is reality. People are selling their business for less money because they think corona's for real. So why are we going to be the ones that tell them it's not for real? Why? At the end of every major financial tsunami debacle, some people get fucking rich. None of your relations, because you come from stupid stock and you should have rolled down the inside of your mama's fat leg. Why not us? This is our fucking time. This is it. Do not forsake me, oh Corona! For those of you that are engineers, doctors, lawyers, accountants, a few other misfit scientist type, QLA is harder for you because you want to know the why. And I'm not a spreadsheeting motherfucker either. There's several things in my life I'd never do again, and coaching is one of them. It's a thankless job because you're all worthless pieces of shit. I personally like lockdown because I don't like you. Now see, you think I'm joking when I say that, but I don't. I didn't like you 50 years ago, 40, 30, and I like you less now. Selfish. The difference between me and this fucking meathead is that I'm more selfish. I'm telling you like it is. This is the real fucking world. Even though I'm making a big deal about it. Why would you still forget to turn the mic on? Because you're fucking stupid! Even though most of you are needle-dicked bug fucker, especially Asians, got a 1 centimeter dick. See, some of you are already embarrassed for him, and I'm not even talking to you. Wait till I get on your ass. There's a reason why you're poor. There's a reason why your parents were poor. There's a fucking reason why your grandparents were poor. You have poor genes and poor rubs off. You wouldn't know a high-performance person if it bit you in the tit or in the dick. You will when you leave this place. We're already going to court with people that have been here 3 or 4 or 5 years ago and failed, and they're trying to sell their gigs. And people are paying money for the gigs, 5-year-old gigs, and those 5-year-old gigs are worthless. And we can track, and we know that you sold it. And then when I sue and I take your mother's house away from her, and your mother, and we're burning the furniture in the front lawn, but Peter, what did I do wrong? I don't know, Mom, but I sold that shit. I didn't know he was for real was going to come after us. I didn't know he was going to kill our cats and goldfish. High-performance people are vengeful. Praise the Lord and pass the fucking ammunition. You little fucking weenies, no. You can't handle the fucking truth. You've only scraped the truth going through my website. You're going to get the balls-ass fucking gut-wrenching truth here. That most of you will fail. Even with the special sauce you think you're going to get here. 99.9% of everything we're going to talk about this week is free on my website. There's no new revelations here. None. That's repugnant. That's fucking repugnant. What I really enjoy is the numbers you produce for me. And I have little time for those of you that aren't going to produce any fucking numbers for me. Elon Musk's favorite word is fuck. He says it 3 or 4 times in the same fucking sentence. And you try not to say a bad word, right? Is Elon Musk the fairy tale wunderbar, wunderkid of the world right now? Yes. And he can't say a sentence without saying fuck 4 or 5 times in it. And we got you, dog shit. It's a numbers game. The only people we're talking to are motivated fucking sellers, nobody else. And the difference is you don't know a motivated seller from a turd. And you'll talk to anybody that will return your call. And look how your program's worked out. Well, unless you can make that fucking leap, you will fail at this. No matter what your education is, no matter what your fucking background, you're nothing but a goddamn dirtbag salesman with QLA. That's it. I can't make it any more fucking graphic than that. Some people can do it, some people can't. And when I told him I used to move 200 units a month, personally, me selling cars, he says, that's unheard of. Somebody set the expectations. How many cars we get a month in this fucking rat hole? About 250. We got to move at least 200, Peña. That's all I heard. Got to move 200, Peña. Just hit that line, Peña. Just keep hitting that fucking line. And I move 200 a month. You can't find a car salesman in the history of the motherfucking planet that sells 200 cars a month. Nowhere. I did. Just like I set the expectations for Thomas. See how it works in the high-performance world? Normally when you take on a new job, they give you, well, you've got 3 months to get your feet on the ground and 3 months, blah, 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 to learn, right? I have fired people in the morning. They started at 8, I fired them by 11. You got 3 hours, asshole. That's it. I can smell death. I know whether you're gonna make it in 3 minutes, let alone 3 hours. I have fired thousands of people. I've closed divisions down. May God strike me fucking dead on this goddamn platform if that's not the truth. Remember, it's not your money. It's not your fucking money. I'm not telling you to be, irresponsible about it, but it's not your fucking money. Right now you got 100% or nothing. None. It's zero. But when you have that first board meeting and you're all sitting around and there's 200 years or 250 years of experience and you've got 1 day of experience, it will become intuitively obvious to everybody at that meeting that you're wasted space. And why do you have 60 or 70% of this business when you don't know shit? And we all know that, don't we? And at a meeting in Manhattan, they will come out and they will say, hey, what is this prick from Brooklyn? What's he got 64% of this deal? Doesn't know shit. And that's exactly how they're gonna say it. Am I right? Yes. And this is the time your chairman steps into the breach like RoboCop. We're here because of this worthless piece of shit. It was his energy from this worthless piece of shit. It was his idea from this worthless, to have your back. I hear from you kids all the time, I got your back. You don't know what got your back even means. But that motherfucking chairman better have your fucking back. Really important. Otherwise, you'll be out on your ass. It's the single most important person you bring on the board. So you don't want to have any fucking meetings. They can still see that you're not worth a shit. And then what do you say? Well, we'll tell you what to say later on in the week. When they get together, they will immediately ascertain why in the fuck are you there. Immediate. I don't care what your resume says. I'm 2% and I built a $6 billion company. This cocksucker 63%, and all he can't even wipe his own ass and chew gum. Does everybody follow that rationale? So when I tell you not to have a fucking board meeting until you got something to talk about and you form the company, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. God him fucking self said it. It's Allah's motherfucking will. And do it right. Remember I told you? You gotta scrape the end of the skin in your mouth if you're gonna off yourself. I would never, that's metaphorically speaking, because I would never want anybody, because everybody deserves to live. Horse shit. Most of you shouldn't have been born. Snowflake, because they're like whores on the street corner with short skirts. You have no idea how the banks and the accountants and lawyers will prostitute themselves to get business now, because there is no fucking business. Don't you understand? How many fucking times do I have to tell you? By his own admission, he said, I did exactly what Mr. Peña told me not to. I went to his Goomba buddies. Like in The Godfather, dun, 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 dun. There was not a non-Goomba in the deal. He went to all the spaghetti benders. There's a couple of you in this room that need psychiatric help. Yeah, I'm not making a joke about it. Now, if I was a meathead like in the audience, I can live to be 300, but I mean, you're gonna give me a fucking heart attack. In one word, how would you describe Steve Jobs? Asshole. Did he change the world? Yes. This seminar just end right there. There is no more. I should have ass on this one and hole over here. It's that simple. You have the power to transform these little shits into something. The choice is yours. And what have you been told all your fucking lives? Exactly the opposite, correct? Your whole life has been lived vis-a-vis a myth of losers, pleasers. Some of you were sucked into the vortex and you wonder why you haven't got shit. Now, I've known this before I ever found this slide. Because I say, well, what are all the smart, high-performance people that I've had the privilege of being around? What the fuck do they do? And so I just did the same. I saw what Costa Grazos did. I never saw him open a motherfucking book. But you have been told, you know what the fuck you've been told. That's such a load of hot cock, it's beyond my comprehension. Read 2 books a day if you want to stay poor. Because you can relate to the monkey because you're a monkey. You can relate to the retard imbecile because you consider yourself down deep inside a retard imbecile. Even for the 2 or 3 of you that are cocky in here, I'll knock that cockiness out of you before the week's up, believe me. Because nobody in this room has done shit with their life. Not dick. Don't confuse me with the facts is one of my favorite sayings. I'm not interested in the fucking facts. This is how we're doing. I don't care what that study says. I don't care. Historic, we're doing it this way. Yet you want a case study. You want to see how everybody else did it. Why? Because you're afraid of making a mistake. Stupid, low self-esteem dipshits that you are. The guys on Wall Street used to laugh and say, I'm okay, you're okay, cha-cha-cha. Because it was a joke. That was the beginning of the end. Because everything you do, asshole, isn't okay. And if they're not willing to, next. Adios, motherfucker. Don't let the door hit you in your flabby, wrinkly ass on the way out. And the reason why it flows off my lips is because that's exactly what I told them. Verbatim. Verstehen, understand the word verbatim? Word for fucking word. Don't let the door hit you in your wrinkly, flabby ass on the way fucking out. And I still say it in 2020. They're third, fourth, and fifth world countries for a reason. Contracts in China, the negotiation only starts after the contract, after you've signed the final deal. That's when the negotiations begin. The 15 months that you negotiated to sign the fucking thing doesn't mean anything. China fucked us for practice for 60 fucking years in America and fucked the world. For 60 years, they raped, pillaged, and plundered us. And now we got fucking snowflakes. We're not being nice to them. Now, when he opens, the stuff he's going to do this next term is going to baffle. If the screaming liberals are crying now about Ginsburg, they will cut their throats on YouTube over what he's got up his sleeve next round. It's going to be a thing of fucking beauty. I'll be able to go to my maker, just swimming in fucking blood, liberal blood. I'll just float all the way up to heaven. He's going to fuck him for practice this next term. And then when he's emperor, you heard it here first, Emperor Trump. And don't be sending him an NDA. You don't know how insulting non-disclosure agreements are to somebody like me. By definition, when you're a board member, you have a fiduciary fucking responsibility not to leak information. You're recruiting me to be on your fucking board, to give me that total responsibility, and then you send me a fucking NDA? Fuck you and the whore you wrote in on. That is kindergarten shit. Plus, you don't have any money to fight somebody if they cheat you. What are you gonna do? Shame on you, liar, liar, pants on fire? Fucking morons. And they guys know you're not gonna sue them. And whoever says shit like that is naive or just stupid. How do you keep up your energy? Are you fucking shitting me? Is this a class or a course in comedic humor? How do you keep your fucking energy? What he was really asking is, how do I stay motivated? And if you're worried about that, again, you came to the wrong motherfucker. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Don't give me that shit. You're not talking to this other moron over here. You're talking to me. If love worked, you wouldn't be here. If religion worked, you wouldn't be here. Who utilizes religion the most? Poor people. Who does the Catholic Church have most control over? Poor people. It'd be nice if religion worked. It'd be nice if love worked. As they say in this part of the world, it doesn't. Because they can't speak English up here because they're retarded. He didn't know a motherfucking thing about tennis. Why? Why no? The greatest tennis coach in the history of the world. What does that say about you? How do you process that in your little fucking brains? How? That's something you ought to think about, you fucking retards. The greatest of all time can't play the fucking game. And all you want to do is know how to do it. And more importantly to you is why? Because he's not insecure. Because he has self-esteem. Because he has self-confidence. And more importantly than all the three things I just said, he knows it doesn't make a shit whether he knows how to or not. All he knows is he knows how to motivate people to perform at the highest level. That's it. You think Elon gives a fuck about you? No. Do you think Donald? No. Do you really think they do? You look dismayed because you know it's not you. And you know it's gonna be a rough motherfucking road. And those speed bumps are Mount Everest. Dan's lying. Dan said he never tells a lie. Well, he's lying because those speed bumps are Mount fucking Everest. But they're not. Does everybody understand what I mean when I say you'd rather be liked than effective? That's a half-assed way of saying you're a pleaser. But you're gonna hear a guy with tears in his throat saying how fucking hard it is to come over to the dark side. I'm a flippin' motherfucker. If you're flippable, I'll flip you. I like to take the zealot and just from God to QLA. And when it happens, it's a thing of fucking beauty. You can't profile people when you hire them for work now. I do. Are you pregnant? Are you gonna be pregnant? Are you gonna have babies? Have you had your hysterectomy taken out? Are you this gay all the time? These are some of the questions I ask, but you can't, because all that makes a difference. Contrary to what popular belief says today, all those answers to those questions make a fucking difference in how you approach life and, more importantly, success. All your numbers are too low. They're too low. They're just Categorically, they're too low. Because you're afraid of failing. You've been taught, make small goals, incremental that you can make so you don't are disappointed with the intermittent failures, right? Well, that's wrong. You want big fucking bodacious goals. Like Obama, I'm gonna be the first black president. Or he's smoking crack as a fucking, 19, 20-year-old kid. You want big goals. A product of your economic and social milieu. They're a product of where you came from. They're a product of how you were raised. They were a product of, obviously, back to your parents. That's why your goals are so fucking low. Why? Because you're a weak cunt. And they think they're gonna bully you around. And in most cases, they're right. You're a weak cunt. I eat kids like that for breakfast. Some people called me, my nickname was, give me the fucking money. Have you seen Give Me the Fucking Money yet? Well, he'll be around. Don't worry. He doesn't care who it is. He'll take money from anybody. Which is true, I would. And I did. And I still do. Money rules. Money talks and bullshit wants. Cash is king. There's a reason why a lot of us are 100% cash. There's a reason. The big motherfucking big tsunami. Not this chicken shit corona tsunami. The big motherfucker's coming. The big motherfucker's coming. When the system goes down, I'm the only one that read that the Bank of England said they came a cunt's hair away from going bankrupt in the UK in March. Am I the only one that can read? Because they don't want to send panic. You listen to YouTube, you miserable cunts. For those of you in the UK, you almost went bankrupt, you dipshits. Just like Nicholson said, you can't stand the truth. You can't. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to be Pollyanna. The final scene, the rich girl in Atlanta is burned to the ground. And she's looking in the flames. Oh, I can't wait until April, the springtime and the flowers. Flames, the fucking boards are falling all around her. What are you now? What's wrong with you people? Jesus Christ. The Viking bitch says, when I fucked up, it was because I didn't follow the steps. Gerard says, when I fucked up, I didn't follow the steps. Margot said, when I fucked up, I didn't follow the steps. Every fucking one of them. Yet you're still not gonna follow the motherfucking steps. Because you don't want to be rich. This is a fucking pretend joke. Because if you follow them, you will be rich. And I already know the ones that aren't gonna follow them first. He says, my wife's pregnant. I say, my wife's pregnant. The new kids say, we're pregnant. Fuck you if you're pregnant. I'll give you both an abortion. There's certain places in the world where men still have balls. When you say we're pregnant in Russia, they spit on you. You're not gonna pay income to these guys until the fucking business cash flows. How many fucking times do I have to say this? You're not hiring anybody to do anything that you're gonna pay them money for, like a salary, because you don't have any fucking money. And even the guys in the room that have money, you're not gonna use your money to pay them a fucking salary. When the business cash flows, and if you put the business in the toilet, like some of you will, because you don't believe that the management part's hard, you're gonna pay them nothing, and you're gonna wind up fucking them, because you lied to them, because no money's gonna go their way, because you fucked the whole goddamn transaction up. They're getting paid nothing. What you're really asking is that means you can't take any money out, you fucking bums. There's no money in it. It's zero. Fuck, how many times do I have to say this? Even the fucking imbeciles on YouTube know this, I think. Maybe they don't. You only can pay money when the business makes money. If the cash flow of the existing business with the empty beds and the dead bodies doesn't cover fucking debt service, we don't buy it under any circumstances. But in closing for the YouTube, back in the 80s, a motivated seller to Peña, fucking wetback Miskin, the old man pushing his old lady in a wheelchair. He's just had a stroke, and his old lady spitting up blood from emphysema. Now, them's motivated sellers of that wetback peanut. They weren't lying. But when I tell you, motherfucker, I'll do whatever it fucking takes to close this cocksucker, including killing your wife, I mean it. Metaphorically speaking, because everybody deserves to live. Goodbye, you people.